banners out, you know, the great big signs, radio, you know, we teamed up with Kiss. 70 grand we sometimes paid for advertising. And I've never seen a show do. There's nothing like that now. You know, every station used to turn on, cage rage coming. You know, you have to promote these shows. You have to have the big radio, the big bollocks to put your money down.
Yeah.
If you haven't, you can't go. I could go to the arena show tomorrow, but if I don't advertise it, if I think, I'll just squeeze it down to 3,000 people, I'll just do this, I'll give a load of free tickets away. Of course I can do one. But the consequences are the sponsors ain't going to be happy, the investors ain't going to be happy, and I know I'm not going to be happy taking out all the great big loss. So to do an arena show, just to say you're in an arena, is stupidity. Yeah, at a certain level, it's stupidity. And when you team up with Sky, I mean, listen, once you put the goods, you don't have to go to an arena. There's no way you have to go to an arena. As long as the fights are filmed in top quality broadcast, that was it. You know, that sold it for me. You know, that sold it for me. And yes, it's lovely if you get the right publicity as an arena, but it's hard because arenas don't help you. You know, it's all you've got to do it off your back. You've got to do it on your own. It's not like America where you go over there, everything's sponsored. In the UK, you've got to do it for yourself. And a lot of people find it hard. A lot of people, I just know there's a lot of bankrupt people out there who've touched MMA, put it that way. A lot of them. You know, I don't want to name names. There's a lot of bankrupt. And in America, it's tenfold. You know, the people who thought they'd make millions and spent 7 million or 8 million. Pardon me for coughing.
No
Pardon me for dying on the phone.
I guess that moves on. I mean, you know, I know you didn't want to name names, but I guess the whole Elite XC situation is proof in the pudding with those guys.
Well, you know what? We sat in all the big meetings, flew in all the big jets, flew the first class, and you've got to say, where's the money coming from? They kept saying, where's that? You know, guys, you know, and they got bigger and bigger, and we said, if you do this in the arena, if you do this now, you're going to lose. There was a loss of 200 grand on one of them. You know, I think on two, yeah, but people don't realise. Although you're putting 6,000 people in there, or how many thousand we did, you know, because we used to pack them out, you know, I think we had 9,000 was the most. It's still the costs of the big cards, the costs of the advertising, it doesn't tally up. Yeah, it just doesn't. The numbers don't swing in there, unfortunately. And we did tell Elite XC guys, we did tell them all this, you know, we put it all down at paper, said, guys, that what we've got to do is this, but they had the master plan, which obviously left me skint and left a lot of other people skint. But there you go.
I mean, I guess that ties into, obviously you've changed, you're moving away from the Cage Rage brand now, from what I read, to sort of appeal in a more corporate sense. I mean, is that the way that you're looking at things now until you've secured that corporate sponsorship? You know, you won't make the leap, because obviously everybody knows you're selling out every time at the Troxy. I'm sure people are banging on your back all the time, Dave, when you're gonna, you know, when you're gonna move to the arena again, when you're gonna do this. Is it going to be a case of you're looking to build the brand and go into those corporate avenues before that happens? You've
got to do that. You know, you've got to have, there's something major, and I've got a few major things planned for this year, and if it does come off, then you may see a gigantic leap. But, you know, really, if you look at the UFC, what they're doing, they can literally do a show, well, they're doing a show every week, which is phenomenal. When you look at boxing, when they do one every six weeks or 6 months now, it looks like, UFC are doing one every week and packing it out. And it looks like the Troxy, what we've done, we had 8 shows last year, we've got 6 this year, but I'm doing the white collar, like amateur semi-pro shows. Mm-hmm. And I've already actually sold that show out for March. So I'm doing February, March, now sold tickets for April. So I'm literally doing one a month. If it was that good, then you think, well, you know what, I could do one every 2 weeks. Why shouldn't I do that rather than do a great big build-up to a great big arena show, which you could lose up to 200 grand.
Sure.
So there's certain avenues you've got to look at in a professional thing, just to please the fans, where you go, I know I'm going to go to the arena, I know I'm going to do this, but it looks good on paper, but you've actually got to answer to someone. You've got to be accountable. And at the moment, it's hard enough to make ends meet, because I've got a full-time office, I've got staff, and people never take that consideration. We've got bills, we've got VAT, we've got tax. People never look at that. they only look at let's do an arena show. Or, yeah, make it all look bigger. So, yeah, it's hard. I don't want to bore you in the hardems of business. That's what business is. If it wasn't, if I couldn't see a light at the end of the rainbow, I wouldn't be on the phone to you right now. I wouldn't be doing shows.
Yeah.
You know, I do believe the corner will turn, hopefully sooner rather than later, you know, and it's one of them. But the more you do arena shows, you've only got a handful, you've only got so many rolls of the dice. It's like a gamble. You've only got so many rolls of that dice to go, I've done another arena show. God, I've done 3 arena shows. God, and if it doesn't happen, you're bankrupt. Simple as that. There's no one can take that deep water. I've done 26 shows. I'm still here. From a brand I had nothing with, you know, I scraped from the bottom again, and everybody said, they're not going to be able to do nothing. They haven't got no spot. They haven't got nothing. I started again. Within 6 months, I was on Sky TV. So I know I can build it. I know I can do it. But yeah, it's a hard slog. I've lost all my hair, Ben. I haven't got a white suit, but you know, I'm sure it's all going to be right. On Saturday night, I'll be having a party. I'm telling you, it'll be all whistles and suits, and you know, champagne will be flowing, and it'll be a real good time.
So looking at the upcoming card then, February the 4th, I mean, one of the things that I associate with UCMMA is the UK1 division, and it's something that draws a lot of comments wherever we go, people talking about it. The main event, you've got Luke Sainz against Peter Irvin in a UK1 bout. I mean, what are your thoughts on the division as a whole and kind of the steps you see it making this year? We know there's a lot of fans of that division and that style.
Well, I'll first of all answer the reason why I kind of brought the UK one into it, because I know, again, fighters have got to make a living. They've got to be active. And sometimes, you know, if you're a champion, you think, I've got to wait for 3 shows before I'll come back and do it. But with this UK one, it gives you, they haven't got to ruin their records, but they can go out there and fight was what they do best. A bit like what Paul Daly was going to do, and some of these guys that are tied in other contracts, it lets them do UK one, which is not MMA. But with the small gloves, it makes it look as uniform in the cage as anything else. You know, so it looks the part. Everybody knows you're not going to the ground, so it's going to be stand up. It's exciting, and it keeps you going. And there's a lot of Muay Thai champions out there, you know, like Andre McIntyre, who fought for us in December, that said the same thing. They've been doing Muay Thai for 18 to 20 years. They've never had more recognition than what they had fighting on my show. You know, with the TV, with everything like that. You know, and some of these Muay Thai guys and K1 guys, unless they're in Japan, they're just fighting for nothing, and they're fighting just the same guys on a small circuit, never have TV, or it's very small scale. When they came to the Tox and saw the lights, the camera, they couldn't believe it was like another world for them. So it gave them a new lease of life as well. And I'm getting more and more emails now. I've got this Muay Thai champion, this guy, you know, so a lot of now the Muay Thai guys are looking over thinking, well, maybe this is probably where we should be fighting. This is the show we should be fighting. And yeah, you know, a few people said you could do a separate show on that. So, you know, again, there's talks with that as well. You know, so you got a full UK1 show and a full MMA show. But
full UK1 show.
See.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, but people are really saying to me, like, you know, you've got the makings of it, it's fantastic, all the champions, a night of champions. So, yeah, there's lots to be had, and it's something that you look at. And when you get the great MMA stars, you still relate to it. When you get them fighting, it's fantastic, because you think, wow, that's John Maguire fight, wow, that's Peter. You're getting the guy like Mark Potter that had never done it before, you know, and think, yeah, I'm going to give this a go. This could be right on my street, and it really, it does really push for a good fight, like Louis King. Now, when you watch Louis King, he's another Corey Tate of the K1 world, isn't he? You don't know what to expect from him. So that's another exciting little venture. It really is.
And of course, a lot. You could also say that it could be, in a lot of respects, introducing fighters into MMA from K1 and the other way around as well. I mean, you talk about a fighter like a Louis King.
It's exactly what you said there, Ben. You sort of was like, already Louis going, I'm training on the ground, you know, I've seen this now, but yeah, I want to do MMA as well. So yeah, of course they're going to swim both ways and think, well, I've got a career there, and I might have a career here too, because they've got to get me down first, for maybe I might knock them out first. Maybe I could be the next MMA superstar just with the hands and feet. Maybe I could. So a lot of mastery in that way as well, which is good.
I just couldn't concentrate then, because I was just thinking about like Mark Potter versus Melvin Manhoff or something insane. Like I was just, all sorts of things were going through my head. Yeah, I was working on something there.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll commentate that for free.
I'm Chris Lieben.
I'm Charlie the Spaniard Brenneman.
You're listening to Dave O'Donnell.
It's me, D-E-E-P.